Imagine so.
Yeah.
Kind of set up to do that.
Yeah. If anything, I could do that fairly easily.
Right? Just give me 10 minutes. I got you.
Oh, it seems like over necessary.
Huh.
Like it's pretty self-explanatory, them not showing up.
Yeah.
How were you starting that quest? Were you talking to the guy and then going to the boat?
Yeah, I talked to the quest giver and then go to the boat.
So apparently you can talk to that lady before you talk to the quest giver, and she'll also give you the quest. That might be the problem that you're running into, because I ran into that problem with
I did try and go there.
That I had to turn off.
I did try and go there beforehand, but there's nobody there. Like, still, like if I don't take the quest and try and go, there's still nobody.
Yeah, she's supposed to just always be there, because she will also just start the quest line if you haven't talked to the guy.
It's one of the ones in front of the delve. That's why I was like confused.
Yeah, it's the delve quest. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's fine. I put in a ticket for it. We'll, do what we gotta do. I have it currently abandoned. Well, I'm gonna abandon it right now. Just pick it up later.
Yeah.
There was a million other side quests in that game.
Right.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff for me to be able to do. That's why I'm playing it for the stream.
Yeah, that is kind of a good thing about large games like that. It's like, oh, it's broken. Well, I guess I'll go do something else for now.
Okay, fine.
I'll be mad about it all day, I guess.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
But it's very frustrating at the start, but I'm not going to sit here and be mad by it all day. I'm just going to move on. There's 1.5 billion quests I can go do.
Yeah.
As I've started with a new character. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's just all the stuff.
yeah. Literally choose from anything.
The world is your oyster.
Right.
There's probably plenty of stuff that you haven't even touched on there.
That's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I haven't done. Doing some of the High Isle stuff.
That's 2-year-old content.
Mm-hmm.
At least a year, because I think the High Isles was last year.
Came out in 2022.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's been a minute for that.
So probably more like
time is an illusion to
year and a half, year and 3/4.
I figured this would be a good one to play for the stream. I don't gotta worry about much, even if I die.
Right. Indeed. But yeah, well, we're here. We're live. Welcome everyone to the 8-Bit Show.
You're live. It's live. It's live.
From New York, from Albuquerque.
Oh, I was just doing the
from the Berkey. Doing the what now?
The like Frankenstein thing.
Oh, I see. It's Frankenstein.
Well, yeah. Before he changed his name to get away from the war crimes.
Yeah. We got 8 bits here. 2 of them are Coffee and Corn Dogs.
I'm responsible for 2 full bits.
And 2 littles. You're only responsible for 1.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of bits.
Good. Still, yeah, that is a whole bit I gotta do by myself. That's rough out here.
It's only 1 bite, 1/8 of a bite. Keep that in mind.
Then why are we not the 1 bite show?
We could be.
If we knew how to reduce our fractions.
Yeah. So we're here to do and say nerdy things while we talk about video games. If you haven't gotten that so far.
Maybe that's what you're here to do.
It is. Very much so.
Oh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, Yeah, everybody doing good? Hanging in there?
Yeah. Doing all right.
Good.
Just you guys played ESO the other day, and then I was like, yeah, I haven't played that in a long time.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. It's
I got back on ESO.
I'm
That took a lot of time to update because I haven't turned that game on in 2 years. There was like 3 hours of updating.
3 hours. Holy cow.
Yeah, there's a lot of updates to apply, and I did that the day before the Gold Coast stuff came out, or the Gold Road
and
stuff
so
came
then
out.
you
So I
had
had
to
another
update.
45 minutes of updates the next day. But I started up one of those new Arcanis. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I wanted to check out the class I hadn't played yet.
Brand new class.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be cool to check out. Yeah, I got the new stuff, but haven't booted it up since I was just trying to like Zambot and Sky and I were just trying to get like back into the groove of things and refigure out all the buttons and all that stuff.
I don't have.
Yeah, that's why I started a new character too. I didn't want to go back to my. I don't remember what the fuck my DPS rotation was on my Necromancer.
Yeah,
I remember it was good. I had like solid damage output, but I don't remember how to do that DPS rotation anymore. Like what procs what? I don't remember.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have the new Gold Road stuff. Because it's not yet part of the like subscription thing.
It's not. When the next thing comes out.
Yeah.
I have spent like a lot of like
stuff going to the other one.
A lot of like the crowns you can earn and stuff like that. I have spent a lot of that on like it's kind of redundant, but purchasing the older stuff.
Well, then you can play it if you don't have it.
Yeah, just for when I don't have it, I can.
Yeah.
Well,
and you also get the like pre-order and premium bonuses that you.
Yeah, that's cool. I got like
if you had pre-ordered the premium version of it.
Yeah,
there's like a handful of armors and stuff.
Yeah, some mounts, shit like that. Yeah,
that's what I actually picked up for myself was the collection edition. Which I don't know if they. Yeah, I don't know if they've done that yet, or done that before, I should say. But it comes with all the previous DLC, and I was like, you know what? This way, if I, turn off ESO Plus, then at least I'll be able to still access everything.
That was my thought. Yeah.
So yeah,
it's like, well, for when I don't have it, I'll still be able to access all the places.
Yeah, exactly.
Except for the new one. I can't get into the new one.
I can, but I don't know where it is, and I haven't been there. I got it, and then I'd spent all my time playing the last stuff that I played in the game before I stopped playing, which was the like Blackwoods, Oblivion Gate stuff. That was the last I played the game. Was when they first introduced companions. Now there's like 5 more companions that I need to go get.
Oh really? I didn't know that. Jeez. Yeah, I haven't looked at anything that I've missed. I just
they put so much out.
Yeah.
I started as a Brett, and I was like, you might as well do the High Isle stuff because that's where Brett's from.
You'd think the High Elves would be from the High Isles, but they're not. They're from Bretonia. I mean, Bretonia Island.
Bretonia Island.
Whatever the hell the name of their island is.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay, so Christian went first every time previous, so we should probably change that up a bit.
He goes first every week.
Yeah, every week.
All the time.
Or at least we mentioned
so demanding of
go
me.
First.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go first.
You can go first.
I'm gonna do it so that next week I could be like, I went first last week. Then I'll go first again next week, so that I can just continue that going.
I'll still claim that I went first.
Well, then that'll make you a dirty liar. We don't appreciate that.
I think we'll have video evidence that you didn't.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
I mean, you also have like the power to get rid of this evidence. I don't think any of us record these shows, right? Do you record these?
Well,
I do.
Oh.
Can't get rid of them completely.
Well, then we will have video evidence. Sweet. I don't record most of my stuff anymore. Just throw it on YouTube. Let YouTube do my archiving for me.
Yeah.
I don't plan to do anything with those live streams. RimWorld live streams been pretty good though.
Yeah, with the video editing, I still. That's mainly the reason I keep them. Which I've gone. I had to go through and like delete all the ones where it's like, oh well, this isn't. There's nothing to do here.
YouTube does a decent job of keeping.
No, they don't. They really don't. They're really bad quality.
Yeah, but yeah, I would be, if I had any intent of editing my RimWorld videos, I would be recording them alongside streaming them.
Yeah, but like outside of that, like keeping it as an archive, like yeah, it does its job. It does that job well. I don't need it to be like super awesome quality if I'm not going to edit it again. So
yeah.
But I mean, honestly,
or if I just need to pull like a clip from it or something, then
yeah,
I can just grab the video off of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really matter if it's bad quality. Then I just need a little clip from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, things I've done this week. I finished The Haunting of the House on the Haunted Hill that was owned by the Hills. They refer to it as Hill House. Haunting of Hill House. Finally finished that one up. Quite good.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoyed it. Mike Flanagan. God damn it, you did it again with that show.
Son of a bitch.
Just really loving the guy's stuff.
Yeah, he's really good.
Christian mentioned his new project coming up. He's going to be adapting the Dark Tower series, which I'm now watching his closest to the source material adaptation. The second season of The Haunting of Bly Manor, is literally a turn of the screw. It's a novella from the 1800s. That's been made into several movies and like plays and stuff.
You've been made into a movie.
Very popular horror novella. But yeah, the second season of The Haunting is just a direct adaptation of that novella, but brought into the 1980s.
Okay.
But I mean, like just direct quotes from the book, or like it's like Fall of the Fall of the House of Usher that he did was like a loose adaptation of a bunch of Poe stories. He figured out how to like weave them together and also modernize it. This one's more just like a straight up adaptation, other than modernizing it. It's like the same story beats and everything. I know this story. Not that it's not good. It's the closest thing to an actual adaptation that I've seen him do. So I look forward to seeing. I look forward to see how he does. How he handles the Dark Tower. Well, it does feel a bit like it's gonna be a big project. That's 7 novels, and they go from like a normal sized novel to ridiculously long novel by the end. Like after the third one, they really start fattening up. Like King just started throwing 200 more pages at the end of each book.
We're not done here.
So I don't know what their plans for that are. If they're gonna do like 7 seasons. To run out the 7 novels, or I don't know what their plans are. And I haven't seen I haven't seen him do any sort of adaptations of this scope. The only thing I've seen him adapt actually is, I mean, this Haunting of Bly Manor based on a novella, and that's the longest thing I've seen him adapt, because the other stuff was just Poe short stories. I guess there's a couple of novellas in there as well.
Hill House is also...
Well, that's just based on a book, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that book, though, so I don't know how true of an adaptation that is.
Yeah, neither am I. I have no idea.
Although it might also be one for one. I'm really only familiar with Turning of the Screw, or a Turn of the Screw, because I saw a movie that came out in 2018 called The Turning, which is just a adaptation of that story as well.
Like, is that like the Turing test?
No, because it has an N. Turning. But I mean, it is also, but it is in a lot of ways like the Turing test, because it will check if somebody's a robot or not.
Okay, good. So, like, if you cry on this, you're not. But
it wasn't developed by John P. Turing, like the Turing test was.
Fascinating.
So yeah, that's been good. Mike Flanagan stuff. Looking forward to the new project. Although that's still in like early production, so. I don't even know do you know what like network that was going to be on?
Amazon, I believe.
Amazon. Okay, yeah, because he's done. I know that the Fall of the House of Usher was his last contractually obligated Netflix show. He signed on for 3 shows. They got 2 seasons out of him for The Haunting.
I think he also got like a movie or 2. I don't know.
One. He did Gerald's Game.
There was another movie he did too. He was just talking. I just was like reading an interview with him. And he was talking about how Netflix does not like to do physical media, like, at all. And he's been fighting to get one of his movies, like, out.
Yeah. I just don't know if those movies were part of his TV show contract with Netflix.
No. The TV shows were just like different.
Or if those were just like that Netflix saw he was doing such a good job with the shows, like after Midnight Mass, Netflix was probably like, hey, do you want some money to make a movie too?
I think Gerald's Game came first.
Oh, then that might have been his foot in the door.
Don't quote me on that.
I'm not 100% sure. I think Midnight Mass was 2017, but I'm not sure when Gerald's Game came out. Oh yeah. Look to the future for more Mike Flanagan stuff. Really good. Yeah, both of the Haunting shows, and I normally hate this, but they're very heavy with like kids in both shows, and I normally hate children.
What do you mean? Like, there's just a lot of kids? What do I mean?
I hate children? What's not to understand?
Like, heavy with kids, like they're like integral to the story, or?
Well, yeah, in the first season of The Haunting of Hill House, we're seeing, like, we flash back and forth between, like, all of the cast as adults and then all of the cast as kids when they were living at Hill House.
Gotcha.
They spent a summer there, and a bunch of, like, haunted shit happened. And then as adults, they're this like haunting shit's starting to come up again. It's all a metaphor for trauma. Very well done in that regard. The show does do a good job of exploring its themes. That was true for Fall of the House of Usher too.
Well, The Haunting of Bly Manor is technically a different show. I know they both say The Haunting at the beginning, but they are.
I mean, not according to Plex.
According to my Plex, they are.
Huh.
Oh, according to my Plex, it's they're just the same show.
Interesting.
I don't mind.
Well.
But
maybe they are, maybe they aren't.
Doesn't really matter. I mean, they're kind of. Well, they're not. I mean, they're not really the same show at all. They feel pretty different, but they are both I guess they were both about haunted houses. It's called The Haunting.
Well,
I mean, if it's going to be a different show, why wouldn't they just call it what it is? Like,
are you picking up that quest outside? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Sorry, we interrupted you.
Done?
Yes.
You guys just want to play ESO?
Well, like he was right there with me, and then I just saw him take off in the opposite direction. Got really confused for a second.
Yeah, we're done.
Right, I'll continue. No, I lost it. Lost my whole train.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
What are we talking about?
Bly Manor. Haunting.
So yeah, I don't. Yeah, if it was different than Haunting of Hill House, why would they call it the Haunting of Bly Manor? Why wouldn't they call it A Turn of the Screw, which is what it is?
I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like that because they're like the same show.
Okay. Mine doesn't put it as the same, nor do they feel it all the same.
They do kind of well, and also like all the faces.
Okay,
because Mike Flanagan uses the same actors
uses all the same
everything. He really does though. It's like the same. It's the same guy. Yeah, he uses the same cast for like all of his shows and movies. I don't know if that was just because like Netflix though. I don't know if he's just pulling from like Netflix stable of actors.
Yeah.
That's why they're all, because they're like all the shit that I've seen has all been a Netflix production.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, there's also the sense of like, liking, because he's talked about it like on that interview that I read. He talked about it a little bit, and like a lot of those actors he does like to work with.
Well, yeah, you get that. Yeah, you get that rapport. That's important. Other shows watching here. I've been watching that Dark Matter on Apple TV.
Ooh, yeah.
It's really good. It's currently airing. Apple does an episode a week. They do weekly episodes instead of putting it all out at once. So gotta wait a week between episodes, but it's really fucking good. It has nothing to do with Dark Matter either. I don't know why they called it that. Pretty sure that's the name of the novel it's based on as well.
Huh.
But it's some guy who invents a box that lets you travel between dimensions. And that guy that invented that box.
How big is this box? That's the real question.
About 10 feet cubed.
Okay.
That's a nice size box.
So,
Yeah, that's a good size.
Yeah, I'd say about 10 feet cubed, maybe 15 feet cubed. Interior feels kind of like 10 feet cubed until they close the door, and then the box really it opens up into a hallway with a bunch of doors that go to other dimensions. That's how the box works. But only if no one can observe it, including the people in the box. So they have to use a special drug that turns off that part of their brain to make the box work. But the guy who invents it goes to a different dimension and like kidnaps himself from that dimension so he can steal that guy's life, and then dumps that guy back in his home dimension, and nobody else knows how to control the box. Including, like, the guy that he stole from the other dimension. Only one version of this guy invented this box.
This sounds confusing. Like, it feels like it wouldn't be if I just watched it, but it sounds confusing.
It sounds like you're taking the long steps to explain sliders. With, like, some extra stuff.
With some extra
well,
stuff,
I think nothing that I actually... You're basing that on... I think you guys aren't listening to me. Christian, you're basing that on stuff I've talked about the show before. Because I haven't mentioned how they're like lost in the multiverse yet, like on sliders.
No, but you talked about like dimensions, hopping dimensions for the box.
Well, so far as the one, I talked about one guy going to one other dimension. That's not. I mean, that's not what happened. I guess it's what happens in sliders and any other multi. It also happened in Invincible.
Yeah, sure did.
At the beginning of the second season. Check that out now on Amazon. Oh, maybe I'm just doing a bad job of explaining it.
No, I mean, it sounds interesting. To be fair, I kind of wanted to check it out before. I have no idea what the book is about, but just what I've seen about it is
about this. I assume it's pretty in line with the show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good though. What's happening now is like the guy who invented it, he regretted not like marrying some lady, and instead he went off to go be a famous inventor. And that's why he goes to the other dimension where he's like a poor science teacher, and he goes to live that life instead. And he feels like he made like a decent trade with the other guy because he is like rich and successful in the dimension that he came from.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, well, I would totally do that if I could like hop dimensions and be in a better situation. Yeah, totally.
I mean, that's how
take my shitty life.
That's how the guy kind of sells the idea to people. Anyway, is like you can all those mistakes you ever made in life, you go back and live in a dimension where you didn't make those mistakes. You just got to kill yourself. Or you could probably, I mean, it's, infinite possibility. You could probably find a dimension where you, like, just died of a heart attack. You just step right in and take the spot.
Right.
Do the whole Rick and Morty thing.
Yep. That's what I was thinking.
And they explode in the garage and take right over with that.
But yeah, once the guy who got shanghaied to another dimension, once that dimension realizes that he's not who they think he is. They saw a guy go into the box. They saw a guy who looked like just like him come out of the box. They're like, oh, okay, you just have some memory loss from being in that box, but you'll remember who you are. Once they realize that it's not that guy, they try to kill him, and he runs off. It escapes back into the box, but he doesn't know how to control it. So now he's kind of just him and some character that he took with him are stuck in the box right now, just exploring it. And it's kind of fun. They go to different dimensions. Most of them just seem to be worlds that have ended. And the show was finally fucked to establish a few rules for like where the box could go, like how far away from our timeline it could get. Apparently you can only really you can go to dimensions that you existed in at one point. So if you're like in the box going to a different dimension, the only access you have to dimensions are dimensions that you at one point were alive in. Even if you were like,
oh, okay, I think I get what you mean.
Even if you weren't alive if you passed on when you were a kid in that dimension, you could still go there as someone else. But that's the limit. Like if the dimension was so like fucked up, like the Earth never formed kind of dimension, that you wouldn't have access to that because obviously you weren't born if the Earth was never.
Yeah.
So they do start establishing some rules for like how the box works, but it's all very mysterious, and then it does start getting into the sliders things. They're just hopping into these different dimensions. Although most of them they like pop their head out and get back in the box because it's like because most stuff's like fucked.
Yeah.
My biggest memory of that show was when it was announced. I thought it was the Canadian sci-fi
show. Yeah, the Canadian Firefly.
Yeah. And I was like excited, and then it wasn't that.
I still don't know why they called it dark matter. Show doesn't have anything to do with dark matter.
Well, it uses dark matter to control it, right?
Nope.
No.
Maybe it's alluding to the fact that we don't know what dark matter is. So it's the unknown. I don't know, I'm trying real hard.
I mean, maybe it makes more sense in the books. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe that is it's part of the theme of it.
Or maybe it's something that'll come up later. Yeah.
Yeah.
But right, yeah. Well, it's 5 episodes in.
There's only one way to find out. Tune in.
Yeah, check it out on Apple TV, or you can take to the high seas and engage in a little piracy and get it that way too.
Yeah. Speaking of Apple TV, I did hear that what's that show? The Silo show. That they're planning 2 more seasons after this one comes out.
Are they? I was watching that show. I watched most of the first season up to the point where like they're sitting. There's like a couple characters sitting in the cafeteria, looking, and it's like nighttime.
Yeah.
Like looking out. They're looking out on the like projector feed of the outside world that's in the cafeteria, and they're like, "What are those points of light in the sky?" And I got so fucking mad. You don't know what stars are.
Yeah. And
then they're like, well, so a lot of that damage, or a lot of the information we had got destroyed in that like mysterious whatever that happened a while back. I'm like, bullshit. Fucking bullshit. All right. People would still tell people what star. You can't tell me some fucking kid didn't walk in there and his grandma didn't know what the fuck a star was. Like, doesn't make any goddamn sense. Like that one, like completely, just that one thing completely pulled me out of the show, and I was like, nope, this is actually really stupid.
Well, so they do actually kind of like touch on that later on, that like they don't directly say it, but it's like alluded to that, yeah, they like very much like are hiding information about the world from everybody inside.
Yeah, well, that's yeah. So yeah, Tim Robbins is definitely up to some nefarious stuff on there. I can tell by the way he carries himself.
Plus, it's Tim Robbins.
Well, and that's
you know that guy's digging the tunnel behind that Rita Hayworth poster.
Yeah, you gotta watch him. He escapes prison.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I don't know. I liked it because there's things about the end of the season that were super enjoyable for what they were setting up and the rest of it.
I liked it up to that point, and then that one kind of, because I really liked the like world building that was going on in that. And I was like, okay, I'm really interested in this. And then they got to that, and I was like, oh, so people are just like morons now. I mean, it's not really world building. You just made everybody morons.
Pretty much, just because, yeah, they can't learn anything because they're just pretty much killed off if they try.
Yeah, but I feel like the people would know what stars are. Like they know what a shirt is, right? They know what pants are.
Well, yeah, but because
air is,
because they have use of those. It's only what's of use of to each person. Otherwise,
because they know about like grass and stuff outside too. They didn't point out. Well, what's those little like green strands that come up out of the ground out there?
Well, but they do have plants. So, not very many of them, but they do have plants. I don't know. I thought
trying to eat the grass because they think all plants are edible.
I think it was just a bad scene. I've been meaning to get back into the show, but
yeah,
that
like
scene
I don't
was really like.
I understand that could be very like, oh, what the fuck.
I can ignore it and move on and be like, maybe those two characters that were talking were just morons and they don't know what stars are. Or maybe they would have asked if a third character had walked along while they were trying to figure out what those were. They were like, those are fucking stars. Are you guys retarded? What do you say? But yeah, that one kind of threw me for a bit of a loop in the show. What are you running over here? And it's also just like just some of the information the character, because if you're gonna establish like characters don't know like basic stuff like what stars are, then, or even like not. I mean, maybe they don't understand that the star is like a miasma of incandescent plasma burning like millions and millions of miles away out in space. Maybe they don't understand that, but they'd probably still be able to point it at and name it.
Yeah.
Like, plenty of people knew what stars were before they knew what stars were.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And also just like, I mean, that projector's always been up in the cafeteria. Why are these the first two people to question why the night sky is twinkly?
I mean, there'd be something different, like a difference in like being kind of awed by it and not expecting it to be, as look like it does and stuff. Because I imagine in that world, there's got to be somewhat of a less light pollution, so you'd be able to see more of the night sky.
I watched it on like a monitor.
Yeah. I mean, no, I think it's a thing that nobody takes the time to because they all feel so busy and whatnot. Like there's reasons behind it in the world.
They do establish that the cafeteria is not like a hop-in place at night.
Yeah.
Like these two characters hang out in the cafeteria at night because they get alone time there.
Yeah, yeah.
This game is being really buggy for me today. I now can't have any of my actions.
Oh.
I don't know where my skills menu went.
ESO for the win.
I mean, it doesn't. You gotta like do something for your menu to come up. Like the UI goes away if you're not actively using skills.
Thanks.
It gets out of the way.
Okay. I get that, but it's disappeared even when I am doing stuff.
Weird. Any more TV for you, Andrew?
Yeah, it's like TV and movies.
All the TV, all the movies, all the time.
Actually, I don't think I watched any movies. I watched most of Bodkin. That's okay.
What's Vodkin?
It's like a mystery show with Will Forte. Although he's not being particularly funny in it. Like it's like a mystery crime drama. Will Forte plays a podcaster who goes to like a small Irish town to go do some like true crime investigation about a crime that happened like 20 years ago. And that's pretty much that's the premise for the show, and that's pretty much what plays out. It's nothing crazy really, just really like down to earth character study. I thought they'd have more commentary about how shitty true crime podcasting is, and there is some of that, but I thought they'd be a little bit more critical of it. Although I mean, I don't mind, like it's a little less ghoulish to do a podcast about like a 20-year-old crime versus like people talking about crimes that like are still actively being investigated and happened like last fucking week, and I'm sure the family is still traumatized and doesn't want to see a fucking 30-minute video of it on YouTube.
Right. That's where I have an issue with any of those.
Like cold cases, that's okay to do true crime on, but like active cases that just happened, that's not fucking cool. I mean, I think even like there's a little ghoulish to even go after cold cases, but although there's also just a lot of true crime stuff where it's like the case has been solved, the person who did it is in jail.
Yeah, and I don't know, I'm okay with cold cases because there's been more than a few times where it's like people have come forth with information just because they happen to see something on TV.
But at the same time, a lot of those cold case podcasts cause a lot of problems.
Oh yeah. No.
It's like people haven't heard of that before, and suddenly they're harassing the family members of this person. Yeah, because some fucking podcaster had a theory about something,
right?
And told his audience that, and now the audience is trying to solve the crime for themselves. Yeah, and now they're harassing like the survivors of this victim
because the internet has to solve everything.
Yeah. So there's problems for sure. Yeah, there's problems. Yeah.
And then, then on the vice versa, you have stories like,
Patton Oswalt's wife.
Patton Oswalt's wife,
Yeah.
who solved that mystery.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But I've heard, I mean, you can point, there's that Patton Oswalt thing, but I've heard a lot of, like, that was one case that one lady helped, helped solve.
And she did it in the proper way, too. It's not like she was, like, before her book came out that revealed all this, she was, proper and reaching out to who she needed to and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's, like, tasteful ways to do that as well.
Yeah. That's something you should be definitely taking into consideration when.
Yeah. I think overall, it's a little ghoulish just across the board. But doing like crimes that just happened and are actively being investigated is the worst that you could do.
Yeah. For sure.
It is an insanely popular genre, though. And I find myself listening to it sometimes too. Although I can't do like I find some of that stuff interesting, especially like cold case stuff where it's like really like a crazy mystery and like just a lot of crazy things happen, or a lot of like contradictory evidence that's been found and stuff. It's just like, what? I don't fucking even know how this happened. Like those are really interesting, but I can't do, and I fucking hate. I'll just straight up turn it off when I'm watching. If I'm watching it, I can't do like 911 calls. Like those things. Are, just play fucking. They're fucking harrowing. Like I don't want to listen to someone's final moments on a phone call.
No, I don't like those final moments things. Anyways, like.
Oh yeah, no.
I think there's a group of people who like to go and watch the headings and shit, and it's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so
I think the first time I ever heard anything like that was like when they had like all the 9/11 emergency calls. Like,
oh yeah, I couldn't do that.
No, yeah, that was enough for me. It's like, nope.
Growing too, yeah. The 9/11 911 calls. You think that's why they call it 911?
Yeah, that's where it originated from. Yeah.
I paused my watch through of The Handmaid's Tale on season 3 because my buddy doesn't have subtitles for it on his Plex. So I have to actually listen to it, and I need subtitles on the shows.
Yeah, I like subtitles on my shows too. I don't know if it's because we're using a VPN now that's just on our Plex server for downloading, because we got a notice. But
I've gotten more than a few of those notices. I just like moved the file and stuff like that. I don't never had that.
Well, the only reason that we're getting them is because Sky's hard drive died. So,
I mean, to be fair,
we're doing a lot.
It's always better to use a VPN for that sort of thing. Anyway.
Yeah. Like ever since we've done it, we haven't had an issue or anything. So, except for we can't, for whatever reason, download subtitles anymore, like automatically through Plex. It just doesn't work anymore. Yeah.
That one's weird.
It's super weird.
I don't know what I would do.
I can't do that because it's not my Plex server, so I don't have any control over subtitles.
Oh, it doesn't let you if you're just a watcher of the Plex. You can't.
It won't let you search for them.
Yeah, if you're
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you're like connecting to someone else's.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't get like the options on them either. Like I can't offset them or anything. If the timing's not right on them, I can't adjust that.
If there's some available though, you can get to those, right?
No. Oh, I mean, you mean if I can I can turn them on.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they're already in there. Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that.
But then I can't I was also trying to watch The Cabin in the Woods, and that one's subtitles are like they're there, but they're like 5 seconds behind what people are actually saying. It's hard to watch.
Those are the worst subtitles.
And I can't get in to adjust the timing of the subtitles.
Yep.
I don't have that level of access to these files, or really any access to these files other than view.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I guess that makes sense. These files are all on a hard drive that's on the other side of the country, so
yeah.
I probably shouldn't be able to do too much to them from here. No, I'd probably still do an awful lot, but what else did I watch? I feel like there was some other TV. Maybe not, though. Still haven't watched the new season of Inside Number 9. Do I need to start that? They're only like 3 episodes into that, though. I thought there was like a movie I watched, though. Maybe not. Not in the movies. I talked about Civil War already and how Alex Garland continues to fall off.
Oh yeah,
there's a few movies that are coming out that I'm excited to see.
I saw that. What was it? Some YouTube video on honest trailers for Civil War.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. Just based off of what you told me, I was like, "Oh, okay, this all tracks."
They're pretty honest reviews here. I mean, to be fair, well, and obviously the marketing and naming of the movie were mistakes, because that movie is not about a civil war. That movie is about war journalism.
Yeah,
through and through. That movie could have taken place in any place that is having an active war going on. They could have played out the same events, and it would have been the same story, same themes.
I was misled by the posters that told me there would be giant swans.
Nothing. I think those are
not really. I didn't even really pay much attention to the movie stuff.
And no love will be given to world building, but that was kind of. I feel like people also kind of missed the point of that movie, because like at one point towards the end of the movie, when they're going through like this war, this like active war zone, the people on both sides are like dressed the same, and you don't know which side is which. But these guys are just press, and they don't care which side is which. So they just go. They move from. I mean, we see in the movie go from like dealing with one side to dealing with the other side, and not really even batting an eye one way or the other. Like they don't care. They're press. Both sides seem to respect the press and don't view them as active combatants, which they're not.
Yeah,
they're not even really armed. One guy has like a gun, but like a little pistol. But you know. War-torn country, got to stay safe, and they definitely like paint neither side as being good people.
Yeah, well, I think it was, what was it in the honest trailer thing? They're saying that there's not even a mention of like any real political affiliation or anything like that. Like,
I mean, it's a bit weird, because it's like the people who seceded in the U.S., it was like some states that would make sense, like that had been threatening it for years, like Florida and Texas, and then California, but also California. A bit out of left field there. Just because, like, when I think of Texas, I don't think of California in terms of like being politically aligned.
Yeah, throw in Rhode Island.
But I mean, what had happened was, and it kind of, from what they do, what world building they do in the background of that movie is like the feds went like full totalitarian on the country, and that's why states started seceding.
Oh, okay.
So it was like states that had already been threatening it, but also like states that hadn't been it, but wouldn't really want to be under a totalitarian government.
Yeah.
So that makes sense, and it also kind of does establishes like neither side is right in this conflict, and that doesn't matter because that's not the point of the movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's fine. Just if you're gonna go see Civil War, don't go in there thinking it's gonna be about politics at all. It's not. It's about war journalism and what that life is like. So it's a pretty intimate study of how war journalism affects people. See Kirsten Dunst running around as a war journalist and seeing these horrific things. And they find something, there's some like young kid that tags along with them that wants to be a war journalist like Kirsten Dunst's character. And she's seen all this fucked up shit too.
So it sounds like there's like substance that is there.
There is, yeah.
But it was like some executive was like, "Oh no, we're gonna call it Civil War."
We're gonna pitch it like a big action, like a big war epic, and it's not that at all.
Okay.
To be fair, it honestly has me more interested with it not being like a war movie.
I think it was just a big mistake for them to set it.
Yeah.
Honestly, they should have just set it in like Afghanistan or something.
Like kind of done it with anything, just because
set it back there like before we withdrew.
Yeah,
I mean, like war journalists are always going to be pretty harrowing to watch. So
yeah, right.
It didn't seem like you really need to do that, other than to be like somewhat political, I guess.
Well, maybe it was to escape actual political like things that are going on. Yeah.
The other problem was you did show a lot. If you show a lot of like real wars, it's harder to present both sides with that stuff, because you usually have like in most wars there's like clearly a aggressor. In that war. People are gonna like have a side that they would like to see win that war, or at least not get murdered by Russia or Israel. like to see Ukraine and Palestine not get genocided.
What?
I guess it wouldn't really be technically a genocide in Ukraine that they're doing. I'd like to see Palestine not get genocided.
I mean, yeah.
I think that would be the problem with like doing like a real war. Is there's probably going to be one side's going to be worse than the other, whereas
exactly
the way that they did present this, both sides are kind of equally trash.
Yeah, I gave them the freedom to do that.
Like the people who broke away from the government. We get one scene with Todd from Breaking Bad. I call him Fat Damon because he looks like Matt Damon, but chunky.
Oh yeah, that's right, yeah.
But Todd from Breaking Bad. Actually, I don't mean to rip on that guy, like call him fat or anything. I love the guy. I think he's a great actor. Love him in everything I've seen. Loved him in Breaking Bad. Loved him in season 2 of Fargo, where he once again acted alongside Kirsten Dunst.
Oh.
Kirsten Dunst is season 2 of Fargo. She's great. She's fucking crazy. He just has a bit part in this movie where he's one of the like secessionists. They like drive up on him. You probably saw it in the trailer or any of the marketing material for the movie. He's like super duper racist, but he's more presented as like a bad apple rather than like all of the secessionists are super racist. They even make the point of like saying like a lot of the states that broke off are not very organized. With like the other states that have broken off, they haven't really formed much of a confederacy yet. So he was probably just Florida man. From Florida breaking up.
You always gotta have Florida man.
It's true.
Florida man is notoriously racist.
Notoriously a lot of things.
Yeah, just a lot of none of them good. So I think it's just a total win because it's an okay movie. I don't really personally care that much about like seeing an intimate portrait of a war journalist. Although I do think war journalism is important.
But, yeah, that's why I was like that. You could tell any one of their tales; they're going to be harrowing.
Yeah, but I probably wouldn't have watched the movie if I knew that it was just going to be about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's competent. It's okay. I don't know. I kind of feel the same way about it as I do about Alex Garland's Men, where like the first 2 acts of that movie are pretty damn good. The third act of that movie is bonkers and it's weird and dumb.
It kind of takes away from the message of it too.
Yeah.
A little unfortunate.
Yeah, it gets really bizarre. Have you seen Men, Frankie?
No.
Have you seen that movie? I mean, probably worth a watch, but it's just if you have nothing better to watch.
It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's kind of how I feel about Civil War as well. It's not bad. It's definitely not what I thought it was going to be. I could say the same about Men. I thought Men was going to be more of a straight, like, horror movie as well. But yeah, I feel like Alex Garland made like Ex Machina and Annihilation, and then he just kind of like forgot how to make good movies. I don't know. He made some good movies.
That's true.
He did Annihilation.
Yeah, Annihilation was really good.
He did Sunshine, which was very good. I like Sunshine.
Annihilation got me with the fucking creepy bear.
Yeah. He did Ex Machina. He did Dread. So I mean, it's like some good movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was only one of 3 writers on Dread, so like wasn't heavily involved with Dread. That wasn't his movie. Mm-hmm. Whereas like Men and Civil War is his movie, written and directed, his movie. And Ex Machina as well. But yeah, I feel like ever since he did Ex Machina, he's just kind of been doing worse.
He's getting worse.
I don't know who he makes movies for anymore. Who was that movie for? Who was Civil War for? Because it's marketed as being for like one thing, but it's not for that at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's interesting to tell like a war journalism story. But yeah, it definitely seems like, from what you're saying, the marketing got out of touch with what it was supposed to be about.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is like they could have made it about any war.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't have to, because they don't do anything with the fact that there's a civil war going on in the U.S. They don't do anything with that.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like, okay, so it's
just a war for them to be doing war journalism on.
Yeah, it's like, all right, you're gonna invent a war. Why are you gonna make it about something that, I mean, other than like, again, you know, some CEO or whoever is like, no, this is what we're doing because this is the hot topic now. So
yeah, that probably was it. Although I don't know, like written and directed by Alex Garland feels like he had a lot of control over this project. I don't know if he would have like completely.
Well, like Frankie said, it was kind of a way so that you don't piss off like anybody, and you can easily paint both sides as bad. So you don't have anybody being, because no matter like what you're looking at, there's gonna be a group of people who are like, oh no, but we were the right ones.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
So,
I mean, maybe that was Alex Garland's thoughts on it.
But to market, to market it.
But he could have done that with a fictional war that didn't take place in the U.S.
Yeah, exactly.
Well.
That's why it's like on the marketing side, it seems like someone was like, no, let's market it like this so it sells.
They could have put it like to have take two random Eastern European countries and make them fight each other. And then you would have pretty much you could play out the same movie.
Yeah, they could have even been made up countries.
Could have even been made up countries.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it does feel a bit like that. You know, that Civil War thing was the hot topic issue, even though like historically, like ever since the Civil War, historically people have been being like, this thing is gonna cause a civil war. Like, that's always been a thing.
Yeah, it's part of the fearmonger stuff.
Yeah, it's not a new thing.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know, maybe maybe still kind of weird. Bit of a whiff. Bit of a whiff. Also, like, I don't know why Alex Garland's moving away from more like horror stuff. This was just not pretty, like I said, pretty intimate look at the life of a war journalist. It wasn't really. There's a few action sequences, but none of our main characters are shooting anything except well, cameras, I guess.
Yeah.
Sweet camera action.
Sweet camera action.
Oh yeah, Nick Offerman was all over the promotional stuff too. That guy is not in that fucking movie at all.
His voice is.
His voice isn't even in the goddamn movie. He has a speech at the very beginning of the movie. He plays the president of the like dissolving U.S. He plays the president. He has this big speech at the beginning of the movie. Then we never see him until the very end of the movie, and he has one line.
Yep. Sounds right.
But it's a very important line. Like, let's go.
And nope. it was a very short line. It is kind of an important line. It's actually what the journalists are. Their whole journey is they're going from. I think they start out in New York, but they're somewhere on the East Coast, and they're going to D.C. to interview the president. They managed to secure an interview with the president. They're going to be like the only journalists who've been able to interview the president since the war started, because the feds have been murdering journalists left and right. Some of that totalitarian state. We don't get an explicitly racist character to show off how bad the feds are. That's all in the background, and they just talk about how bad the feds are. We don't see Todd from Breaking Bad being a racist to show how bad the feds are. Although they're losing the war. The war's like wrapping up, and DC's like one of the last holdouts, which is why they're racing there to go interview with the president before like the White House gets taken. And that's their whole thing, is they're just driving down the East Coast to go have an interview with the president. So that one line at the end is their interview with the president. What the one line he has.
Oh,
okay.
So it's the whole reason they went down there, but
it's still not in the movie.
Really underutilized Nick Offerman, I feel like.
That's like when Godzilla touted having Bryan Cranston. I was so excited. I was like, cool, Bryan Cranston in a Godzilla movie. Hell yeah, I'm sold.
Or how Jeff Goldblum was heavily advertised for Jurassic World, and then he's just in the beginning.
Yeah.
Opening scene, and we never fucking see him again.
Yep.
Just doing fan service, really just repeating lines that we've heard him say before. Life finds a way.
Just over and over.
Yeah. I don't know, movies do that shit a lot. So.
With that laugh, and then he does his laugh from Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like a laugh.
I can just listen to you make that sound all day.
I don't like it. I finished up that Sugar show. I think I forgot to talk about that last week. Maybe I did talk about it. Oh, wait. It's fucking good. Did you watch that yet, Christian?
I haven't.
Did you watch Sugar?
I have not.
Pretty damn good. I think that's another Apple TV. I'm pretty sure. Right? Am I right on that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head.
Let's check here. Where would that information be on IMDb?
Definitely.
Apple TV, streaming on Apple TV. Yeah. Cool. So it is on Apple TV. So there's a certain bay that's open to swashbucklers that that you can get it at as well.
This is the Michael Bay.
Does Michael strike you as a swashbuckly name?
Could be.
It could be.
How many pirates you know named Michael?
A bunch.
How many pirates do you know?
It's a very common pirate name.
Huh. I mean, I don't know all the pirate terms.
Well, Booty's a pretty constant one.
Beg to disagree. Yeah, Sugar's super good though. Looking forward to seeing. Pretty sure it got renewed for another season.
I do keep meaning to watch it because that's that one that you said is like very noir, very noir. Yeah, the like the main character, whatever he's like doing cool noir detective stuff. He has like flashbacks in his head of like seeing that shit in noir movies, like the thing that he's doing. Does he do narration?
Obviously,
that really sells.
I said it was noir.
Yeah, that really sells me on it.
Yeah, yeah, and actually a really good American accent from Colin Farrell.
Now I know you're lying.
I'm surprised when they get that. Always impressed with that. So I think it was Doctor Who that really fucking ruined me for listening to bad accent, because I've heard so many British people do terrible American accents because of Doctor Who.
Right.
I'm like, what are you trying to? Oh, you're trying to do an American accent. You fucking that up, dude.
I just contributed that they're aliens.
Like, I don't have a good British accent, but you know. They should have better. They need to all learn to speak American. All right, we won that. We won that war. We won that Revolutionary War. You need to learn to speak American, England. You know what I mean?
Aliens, they don't understand.
If we are colony.
Hey, this is the quest that was frozen for me, and the chick is here finally.
Because you logged off for more than 15 minutes and logged back on.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
Remember
I can't get it to like target the right thing. So I accidentally go into the dungeon.
Target it.
Speaking of Apple,
I did that earlier and checked, and she wasn't there.
Never mind. We're talking about ESO bugs now. I told you were just gonna be bad about it all day.
What do you think? He and I.
Bunch of salt.
Bunch of salt. Mm-hmm.
What else you got?
Oh, okay. I could continue.
Yes.
Okay. Speaking of Apple TV, second season of Severance. I had to look up when they're finally going to give me that. That got pushed back by the writer's strike.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to feel all of that now on my shows.
Yep.
But that one's new season. Severance is slotted to be coming out either late this year or early next year. So I'm finally going to get that. I know you guys haven't watched it, despite the fact that I've told you guys lots of times to go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that show's been out for a while.
I've got it downloaded. I've got it ready to be watched.
No comment.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't.
But I'll try to get to it.
I don't even know why I bother recommending stuff to you guys.
Hand check out things sometimes. It's just that the list is so long.
Check out that game I put up in the Discord.
I did actually. It does look pretty cool. So, yeah.
The Bionicle masks.
Those Bionicle masks. It is pretty cool.
It looks pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
All the survival games. There's so many.
Yeah, we've already got that. We're already doing that abiotic factor.
Yeah, that's been a blast.
That has been fun.
Yeah, you guys played some more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing that up. I can tell one of our friends like really likes that game and can really only play it on like the weekends. That's the only time he really has to play it very much. So Saturdays and Sundays, he's just like, let's go.
That's good.
So I think we played like twice on Saturday and then again on Sunday, I think.
Yeah, we did the stream Saturday and then we ended up playing later on.
Yeah, played later that night, yeah. And then ended up playing Sunday too. Yeah, that's been pretty fun.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that you got to worry about using the restroom and stuff.
Yep, gotta go take a poop.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta feed and drink. Worry about heat and cold. It gets cold at night. I don't know why it gets so cold suddenly at night.
Like right away.
Yeah, like
temperature drops instantaneous.
Do they just turn on the AC at night? I don't understand why it gets so cold in there at night. Like there should still be some ambient heat floating around, but obviously these guys didn't play oxygen not included, so they don't know about proper thermodynamics.
That's okay. You gotta forgive them sometimes.
Yeah, that's been pretty fun. Yeah, and that mask game is pretty fun too. I played a little bit of it.
Oh, did you actually end up picking it up yourself?
Yeah.
Ah, I did not know that.
Well, I mean, I didn't know who was even going to be interested in it, so I didn't really make a big deal about it. I didn't even know if it was going to be good or not. I hadn't tried it myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I might pick it up.
It's okay though. I played Pal World, and I like it better than Pal World.
That's fair.
It has some similar things, sort of.
Oh, okay.
You get tribe members, like NPC tribe members that join. You can have them do like tasks around your base. That's how your automation works.
Pal World's Pokemon gimmick gets kind of old rather quick. Because that's all it's really got for it.
Everything in that game got old pretty quick. Played a little bit. I beat like the first gym. Beat the first gym trainer in that game.
Yeah.
Or I guess like equivalent to it in Pal World. And that's about as far as I got. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's about it for me too.
I see why this game was only popular for a couple of weeks. That's probably about how long it took people to be like, all right, I think I've seen everything about this game I care to see.
I'm going to go back and play. I'm going to go back and play Valheim or something.
Yeah.
Valheim got that new DLC that came out, and we kind of wanted to check it out. Or not DLC, but update.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember. Somebody was talking about it, said it was pretty cool. Oh, I think it was one of the girls at Los Poblanos. Yeah. Anything else?
Yes. I finally played that game that Justin bought us, the Skur Ritual.
Oh. You are one step ahead of me on that.
I put 43 minutes into it, so don't think don't think I'm like way up on you. It's Call of Duty Zombies.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that. It's fine. It's okay. If you like that, then there's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, it's pretty much just Call of Duty Zombies. Nothing crazy there. I haven't played it with anybody though. It's probably better in multiplayer. I just got fired up a little solo run.
I was mostly avoiding it because I was seeing a bunch of things that it was just not really prepared for launch.
The optimization is pretty bad.
It's definitely had more like updates.
Yes. Yeah, it's had like. Let's see. When did we get this game?
Launch. Justin got it first, like literally the day it came out.
Oh.
I already picked that one up. Yeah,
they had 4 patches for last month that came out. So they do about a patch a week on this game.
Yeah.
Oh, Helldivers switched over to a patch every other, or no, like once a month. They switched over to, or no, every 2 weeks patch. They slowed down their patches. They're not doing a patch every week anymore.
Yeah.
Doing every 2 weeks patch.
Yeah, they had a whole internet.
Yeah, they had a little thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Last couple of days I've just been playing ESO. It's like it took like 3 hours to install, so or not even install, but just to update. I had it installed. 3 hours of updates.
Yeah, you take the time to update it. It's like, all right, I guess I have to play.
I gotta play now. Yeah.
If I could make me feel bad when I was watching their stream, and like I mostly just had it on for background, and I looked over and the title card was still going, and I heard you guys like talking. You were talking about the game, and I was like, oh, but I still see the like break card. And I mentioned something, and Frankie gets all mad. Yes, I know. It's like, oh,
yeah, I saw you playing around the settings in there. I was like, I should fire that up. See how that game is these days.
Yeah, no, it like locked me out. I couldn't log in. Like I logged in once and everything was fine or whatever. But I like adjusted some settings, so I rebooted or restarted the game so that the settings would apply, right? And it wouldn't let me log in.
What was it giving you, like?
It kept telling me at first that I was getting kicked from the server. Like immediately, as soon as I tried to log in.
Actually did that to me this morning too.
So yeah, basically what I read is that it could be a server issue. But usually the best thing to do is just to wait. Like they said, wait 15-20 minutes. And since you're waiting, you might as well run a quick repair on the game, since that takes a good amount of time to do. And I ran that, and as soon as it was done, I was able to get in. So
okay, do you have it on Steam?
Yeah, no, I don't have it on Steam. I got it through the ESO store.
I also don't have it on Steam.
Yeah, a bunch of non-Steamers.
I mean, you've had a bunch of problems with this game. I had some problems on the website.
I haven't had a whole bunch. Damn it, it's broken.
You have interrupted me twice today to complain about things not working in your game.
No. The second time I interrupted you was because it was working.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, it was an update. It was an update. It's the difference.
It's the difference. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. As far as Steam stuff goes, though, I haven't actually played a lot on Steam, other than Abiotic Factor and Total War Warhammer 3, but I'm just kind of sticking around in there. I want the new free legendary hero they showed off. I want the 3-headed doggo.
A little Cerberus.
Yeah. His name's Karanak. Hound of Vengeance. But it is a three-headed doggo, yeah. It's just Cerberus, yeah. Legally distinct Cerberus.
Legally distinct.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, I think it is like, I'm sure it's something from the tabletop. I don't play Warhammer Fantasy, but I'm sure it's a unit on the tabletop as well. Yeah, that one's going to be free, though. Looking forward to that. More free LC. I think that was actually supposed to come out with the other free LC that came out recently, but got pushed back. I don't know. They're kind of trying to they're trying to fix themselves from that's some rough DLCs, because with Total War Warhammer 3
people were not happy.
The first two ones, they had like these big, they'd release these big meaty DLCs that you could get. You get like, and then alongside them there would always be a free legendary lord, and you'd get like, the DLCs would either be a entire faction where they'd be adding a new faction to the game, and you'd get like 4. Yeah, you usually get like 3 or 4 legendary lords in that faction. And then that you would also get, anytime they released a DLC, they would also put out a free LC legendary lord. So if you didn't have any money, you could still play a new lord. Although you wouldn't have access to like the new units or anything. But then with 3, they instead of doing legendary lords for free LC, they were just putting in legendary heroes, which are not that. There's a pretty big difference between the legendary lords and the legendary heroes. The legendary heroes are just something that you can like recruit during your campaign. The legendary lords are where you start your campaign. You pick a legendary lord, and that kind of determines your entire game. So it's a lot more important than a lot more weight to the legendary lords than legendary heroes. So them downgrading that to just getting legendary heroes for free LCs, and then the DLCs just got like less meaty. It was only get faction DLCs only had like 3 legendary lords in them. So people got really mad about that. So they're kind of trying to correct themselves. They did a good, their most recent DLC they released was really good, where they a la carted it. They released like 3 legendary lords, but you don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it as a pack. You can just buy each lord individually. They're $9 a piece, or you can buy the pack and get a little bit. You get them as a bundle and save a little bit of money there. But if you don't want one of these lords, you buy one and try it out, or So they were pretty reasonable about that.
Yeah. And
then that one, when those 3 new legendary lords came out, they also put out a free LC legendary lord. But I think this is the first like free LC legendary lord they've added to the game. It's been out a while now.
That's good. They need to do stuff to repair that.
The audience was not thrilled about it, but they're kind of trying to right the ship on that.
Definitely on like an overall too. Like
they kind of had to, because Sega was doing a lot of downsizing. They were like, yeah, CA, you guys gotta stop making your historical war games, because nobody's fucking buying those anymore. And you need to improve your image in Total War Warhammer again, because that's what everybody likes right now. So they're trying to do that, and
that's not even just
focusing a lot less on their historical ones.
It's not even just like that they were historical, really. It's just that they were all so small and all felt so like the same.
Really, yeah, they're really short. And also just like, and I mean, it's historically accurate, but like you would have like most armies would be composed of like the same units instead of like factions having their own unique units. That like each faction would have like one unique unit, and then everybody has spearmen, and everybody has swordsmen, and everybody has they're all like they're just all the same unit. Whereas in Total War Warhammer, you got fucking elves and dwarves and you know all sorts of crazy fantasy races. And they're all there. Every faction has completely different units. There's a couple factions that have a bit of crossover, but
tell I'm sitting on my mouse.
Complaining about more problems with your game.
Yeah. Now I got the cat bug.
It's a cat bug.
They do be bugging.
Careful. I don't think that letter you found will work down here. We're gonna have to fight.
And yeah, I think that's probably about the stuff I did this week. A lot of ESO.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I'll go next because mine's short.
Magical traps.
ESO.
hurry.
I did some ESO and
Mine took a while.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I kept getting interrupted.
That's fair. Don't blame me.
Excuses.
I mean, if
I blame you.
Christian would just be quiet for a second. Like he's interrupting right now.
I mean, at least what he's saying is related to what we were talking about. Now he's joining in the conversation rather than just talking about ESO. When I'm in the middle of talking about TV shows.
Right. But yeah, no. I mean, for me, it's just I picked up ESO and to try to get back into it, and been good so far. So, yeah. I'm trying to think real hard if there is anything else that I've really like new that I've been going through. Still watching some more Buffy, and I'm still enjoying that. It's a pretty good show.
Get to the silence yet? You get to the best episode of Buffy?
No. Oh no. I mean, I get lucky if I can watch an episode a day, so it's gonna take a minute. I don't know how far in that one is, but because that's
ever
like
think about watching something that you haven't watched before, like a new show?
I've never seen Buffy before.
You've never seen Buffy before?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Nope.
how about just a better show? Buffy's pretty good. It's pretty good quality throughout. The college years kind of fall off.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
for the most part, it's pretty good.
yeah, I'm enjoying it. So
And actually, I mean, the silence is from the college years, and that's my favorite Buffy episode. It's amazing.
mm-hmm.
You'll probably know which one I'm talking about when you see it.
I think I've seen that one before. I've seen a lot of Buffy before. I shouldn't say seen a lot. I've seen a few episodes a lot.
Yeah.
Because Sky is obsessed with that show, and she used to watch it all the time.
Like 2 inches in front of the TV.
Yeah, like she was bad. And surrounded by cans of Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
So there's like, if that's the one that I think that you're talking about, I think that's one of her favorite episodes. So I'm pretty sure I've seen it a few times. Along with Once More with Feeling, I think is what it's called. She really liked that one too. So I've seen that a few times. Most of the episodes that I've seen so far, I definitely haven't seen. There's a few of them I have. But yeah, seeing the story like together, I have a bigger appreciation for it than I did before, for sure.
Oh, don't worry, it'll spiral out into unsustainable storylines.
I mean, here's the thing: it's like, I don't know, because I try to watch Doctor Who, and I couldn't get into it. It didn't capture me. This one's definitely, Buffy's captured me more than Doctor Who has.
Doctor Who's like all over the place in terms of quality. Like I said, Buffy stays pretty consistent throughout in terms of quality. There's some highlight episodes, and it does like kind of it does have kind of a downward trajectory in terms of quality, like and storytelling. But
pretty much any show does.
That's true of any show when they go on too long. So I mean, that's to be expected, and overall maintains a pretty consistent quality. I don't recommend Angel.
Yeah,
I liked it better than I liked Smallville.
Oh, really? I really liked Smallville.
I didn't. But
well, I mean,
I was about it for the first few seasons, so I didn't like. I don't know. I wasn't like super attached to it, but I liked what I watched because my brother was really into it. My brother was he's a pretty big Superman fan, so.
Like, ain't so super to me.
But yeah, so let's see. Some ESO. Yeah, video game wise, that's really it. Oh, it's depressing. I got no time. And now ESO is gonna take all of what I have.
Ooh, I forgot how much of a time sink ESO is.
Yeah.
Until I was like, oh, I want to like get some gear crafted for my new character. I'll go over onto my main and go craft it up. Oh, okay. Well, it's one of the legendary crafting benches, so you have to have 6 traits researched. Then I remembered how long it takes to research traits.
Yep.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm like months out from finishing this.
Exactly.
Just set the traits now and check it in a week.
Right. So yeah,
starts taking forever.
Oh yeah, no. You need if you want it to go fast, you gotta get some of them books.
I guess it has any other trajectory that like MMOs have, right? Like,
yeah,
things to waste your time. I still think ESO is one of the better MMOs I've played.
Agreed. Yeah. All right, Two Littles, if you want to go first, go ahead.
What was it?
Okay, finally I can go first.
Watching some Buffy and
Buffy playing some ESO.
The Buffy-O. That's what I like to call it.
Buffy-O's. Brought to you by Buffy-O's.
Well, let's say obviously started playing some ESO after I saw you streaming. I thought about joining you, but it was late. I was doing other stuff.
I was already in bed myself, but I had the stream up. I was like, this doesn't look like Tears of the Kingdom.
We did play a little bit of that. We played like an hour of that, and then I was like, oh, to play another hour of ESO, and then 3 hours later, it was like, oh shit, time for bed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I usually fire up ESO when I get up in the morning. Like, I just get up like 6 or 7, fire it up, and then it's dinner time. Shortly, a short 12 hours later. Oh yeah, I need to eat food again. I've been eating in the game.
Yeah, I find if I wanted to check out the Arcanist, because I had not done that. So I started up playing an Arcanist character. I'm trying for DPS because I also don't usually do that. I usually go tank or healer.
Yeah.
But trying to go a DPS route this time. A magic DPS, which seems more fun than just like sword DPS.
It depends, but yeah, that's how I feel usually.
Liking the Arcanist though.
Yeah,
I am enjoying the Arcanist build.
Pretty fun for DPS.
I did other things. in the week.
What are those other things?
Mostly been watching stuff. I got caught up, rewatched The Boys because that's about to drop.
Mm-hmm.
Here in like another week and a half or something like that.
You finally watched season 2 of Invincible.
Oh yeah, and then I watched season 2 of Invincible, which was fun. I like it better than the first season, just because there's a little bit more focus on stuff. But I see where it has a little bit more drama and not enough action. Like sometimes I just stop kind of caring because Mark's off, main character's off crying about not being able to see his girlfriend. Like, I could care less about this.
Your girlfriend doesn't even have superpowers. Who cares, Mark? I don't see her. I see people with superpowers punching other people with superpowers.
That's exactly it. Yeah. And it's just not fair. It's not enough of it.
Mm-hmm.
So having watched The Boys and Invincible like back to back, what do you still feel like those are? I feel like those kind of get like put in the same category, and I guess like surface level they kind of are, because they're about superheroes, but a more like realistic view about how superheroes would act.
Yeah, I mean,
but I feel like they're still like completely different shows. Like premise wise, they sound pretty similar, but they're very different shows. I feel like.
Yeah, I would kind of put it in that boat. Like they're close, but not really. Yeah, like you said, like the biggest example of it is that they're both bloody. They both revel in their like blood and violence.
Yeah,
a bit.
Yeah, they do bust out the hyper violence. Well, it's supposed to be that is that more like grounded, gritty, realistic look at superheroes.
Yeah.
If somebody's strong enough to punch a hole in a person, then we're gonna see him punch a hole in a person.
Yeah.
But like other than that, I don't really feel it too much. You know. I don't really see the same connection. Even in its like gritty, realistic aspect, none of them are as like terrible as like The Boys.
But everyone seems like everyone's a bit more mean-spirited on The Boys.
Yeah, and I guess that's like part of it. Like the comic is definitely that, just times 10.
Like yeah, the comic's even much, it's way worse about it. It's just nauseously worse about it. They definitely improved the story in the show of the comic as far as The Boys goes.
But I think Invincible fits well with the way they animated and stuff like that. It just works really well. It's like that Saturday morning cartoon, kind of gives you that nostalgia feel of like watching like the Justice League cartoon and stuff. But with more, with better storytelling. I did appreciate that one episode where he's talking to like an animator from like his favorite comic book at like a Comic-Con.
They have a little meta conversation.
Yeah, they have a whole meta. Yeah, they have a whole little meta conversation about how like
about how they do animation cheaply.
Yeah, how they cut corners, like not have the person talking.
Yeah,
not be shown in the mouth, and the whole time they're like doing it as the animation.
Yeah. That was a really cute. They have a couple really cute meta moments.
Which I thought it was a little too meta at first, but I just thought it was kind of clever. It was like a little nod to all the animators.
Yeah. It's fine. It's not like the whole episode is based around that or anything. It's just cute little.
No, it's like a 15-minute bit, or not even that. It's like a 5-minute bit. But I liked it. I liked the second season. Pretty good. The like main bad guy who hops dimensions is a little like, I feel overboard. Like I'm not evil, but I'm gonna like I do all these evil things on a constant, repetitive basis. And he's all mad at like
the cartoonish villain. Yes.
Yeah, he's all mad at Invincible for a number of things that the one that he's dealing with had absolutely nothing to do with.
Like, I mean, it was an accident, but it was Mark's fault.
Well, no, but like that,
if Mark hadn't shown up,
I guess, but that guy still would have ended up with all those people's memories.
Well, they were doing it. They were doing it differently, though. Like, he wouldn't have ended up like he was. That's because Mark came and like fucked up the process while they were doing it.
I mean, he might not have ended up as fucked up because he had those other people to talk to, but like his plan was like even the guys who helped him set it up were like, hey, this might not work like you think. It's probably gonna change you.
I'm not saying his motivations are completely sane or anything, but I see where he's coming from. Like he blames Mark for it.
Well, then that, and they also
blames Mark for the thing that happened. I mean, it's a pretty classic supervillain setup, right?
And
like,
I think that's where it starts.
The superhero has a hand in accidentally creating that supervillain.
But at the end there, he's straight blaming Mark for like all the events of all of the Invincibles throughout all the timelines. Like he's not even blaming him for that one event.
I mean, you saw what Mark was doing in his universe before he dimension hopped. And in most universes.
Well, yeah. Oh, look, fair enough. That's not the same Mark, right? Like.
Yeah, but you can't. He's got like a bunch of memories of other people. He's just a crazy cartoonish film. I feel like you're like reading too much into his motivations, or like trying to make sense of.
It's just very cartoonish at that point. Like that guy's like a little over the top compared to all the villains.
He's like he is way over the top supervillain, yeah. But I mean that's kind of the point too, because that's what causes Mark at the end to do what Mark. Frankie, have you seen this? Do you care about spoilers? Can we just talk about this?
Yeah, no, do it. I don't care about spoilers at all.
Second season came out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mark just kills that guy at the end because Mark thought that he was stronger than he was because that guy was telling him that he was stronger.
Yeah, and he ends up stranded.
So Mark stops holding back and he kills him. Yeah, and he is quickly punished for not holding back.
Yeah.
Although he does get Deus Ex Machina out of there with a little time travel.
True. I mean, that was kind of a given, though, right? I mean,
it was going to be something like that. Yeah, how else you get that character out of that situation?
I gotta get rid of stuff before I can accept all these rewards.
But I mean, I think the like cartoonishly over the top supervillain kind of made sense, or kind of worked for that guy in like what he drove Mark to do.
I mean,
like I think Mark needed a cartoonishly over the top villain to drive him to do that.
And it's not so much that like it just doesn't make any like the fact that it doesn't make sense also fits with the character because
he's fucking
everything. Yeah, he went crazy. He put like a fucking 50 people's memories in his head. You know,
and most of those people he rescued from worlds that Mark was actively destroying.
Yeah, so you don't come out of that like okay.
Yeah, most of his memories are of Mark killing everybody.
Yeah, you don't really come out of stuff like that all right, but. And it fits and stuff. I enjoyed it. It's a good show. Like I said, a little bit too much on the like, will they, won't they relationship love bit.
That's my only beef with the show. It seems like they really didn't know what to do with that character in the second season either, so they just kind of revert back to their problems that they were having in the first season and just just replay those, run it back.
But worse, so it can
because in the comics, this character was already dead, so we don't know what to do with her.
I'd be excited to see where it goes, but I'm pretty excited to see the new season of The Boys.
Yeah, I need to watch that Gen V. Get ready.
I did watch Gen V.
Boys.
That's new from last week. I did also watch that, which I kind of enjoyed. I was thankful that it doesn't have as much of the school drama stuff. I'm like, oh, late for class. Oh, this teacher. There's like not really any of that. And they just go into like the same absurd ridiculousness of which is the boys. I think the first episode, this chick who can turn tiny is like jacking off some dude while she's all like tiny. And, you know, typical boys, like just ridiculous. Let's see, I was playing a game besides ESO recently.
Really?
Oh, I
What's the name of
played.
this game?
I think I actually talked about it last week. I played Hellblade 2.
We did talk about it last week. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I ended up finishing Hellblade 2.
Oh, okay.
It's not very long.
Yeah, you were
Like,
saying.
No,
that.
games like that usually aren't. Yeah, it's more
Yeah.
like playing a movie.
I think this one does stand out a bit, and I like it a little bit better than the first one. And it's mostly because there's other people than just Sonoa. Like, she has to work with other people. Where in the first one, other than like the voices in your head, it's really alone. You know.
Mm-hmm.
This one has like other people in the real world that she has to deal with. And, so added another little layer to the like narrative of the game, and honestly a bit more interesting since we didn't have to just focus on her. The fighting in that game is like brutal. Like, not that it's hard, but like graphically and the actions taken, like just like dig your axe into someone's head. They really make you feel it. Very visceral. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. It's an appropriate word.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether that's the one you were looking for or not.
No, I think it was.
Also, in the background of other stuff, I've been I restarted watching the MCU
Oh, wow.
movies. Except for one. I was not able to get through one of them. I can't watch The Incredible Hulk. It's so bad.
I actually, when I finally watched it, I didn't think it was that bad. Like, it's not great.
Me and Christian were talking about this earlier too, and I was like, that was my thoughts on it too. Where I was like, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's
it has
about
some-
on par with like a lot of Marvel movies that I've seen in terms of like quality.
Yeah, like it has some pacing problems. It has some story issues, but you know what? It's
Not a
not.
Marvel movie that
Is it-
doesn't.
It's whatever.
Yeah, is it there to be that? Like,
There's also the sense that it also feels very disconnected. One of the reasons I couldn't get it is it just feels so disconnected from the other ones.
That was still really early on in setting up the MCU, and Marvel was never fucked to explain how Edward Norton turned into Mark Ruffalo. They could have had it. They could have had like a throwaway line about it and be like, "Oh yeah, he went this Hulk genes changed him into now he looks exactly like Mark Ruffalo." Crazy.
Like the famous actor Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah. They were gonna have a throwaway line to explain it. I would have been like, "Okay, thank you, Marvel," but they didn't. They just changed the actor and thought no one would notice, but I noticed, Marvel. I did. Can't pull one over on me.
Thor wasn't really all that much easier to get through.
again,
to
that's
be
one
fair.
where I kind of feel the same way. Where it's like,
I've never seen Thor, or the second Thor, which I understand is not good.
it's pretty garbage still.
But yeah,
That's one of the few
isn't
that I've
bad.
gone back and watched, and I'm like, nope, I still really don't like it.
I want to fall asleep.
Like Iron Man 3, that that one, after like watching Endgame, I had an appreciation for it.
I like the Iron Man trilogy, but mostly I like what it does, like thematically, where it tells like Tony gets like a full arc through those 3 movies, and then in each movie as well. But the first one's Tony learns to accept being Iron Man. Yeah. Which at the end of the movie we see that, where he's just like, I'm Iron Man. That's Tony accepting that. And the second movie we see Tony learning to love the suit. Despite the problems that the suit is causing, since there's now other people who've gotten that suit tech and are causing problems. So Tony's like, I shouldn't be using the suit. We need to do away with this. But then Tony learns to love the suit at the end of the second movie. The third movie, Tony learns that he's Iron Man even without the suit, and he beats the bad guy by putting his suit on the bad guy. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like those 3 movies, like, they really hit those themes really well. Like, yeah, like he accepts being Iron Man, learns to love the suit, learns to be Iron Man without the suit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I also think there's some like some good theming of like PTSD throughout his trilogy.
Yeah, well,
because he gets PTSD from the first one, and it starts affecting him, even in the last one, in the third one.
I mean, I still don't think
that kind of actually follows through with him. So like the very end. Even.
I still don't think like a billionaire genius is really the best person to explore somebody with PTSD. It seems like he's going to be fine. Not to discount PTSD, but usually people with PTSD don't have a lot of other problems that being a billionaire and a genius would solve for them.
True. It's not something that's like front and center or anything. No. It's just a sort of like little background thing that kind of helps to like Tony's character throughout like the MCU and total. Mm-hmm. Especially after Avengers, when he goes and he like nearly kills himself to save everybody. Those events start. Yeah. Huge spoilers. Tony Stark dies. Yeah.
What? Dude, I haven't seen Civil War yet.
Yeah, you have. You just talked about it.
That's true.
That's really it for me, though. I haven't done too much in video gaming, but I've watched enough.
I gotta go.
Was it?
Where you gotta go? Andrew?
Oh, he left.
Oh. Uh-oh. Something came up? Well,
I don't know.
Well, it's getting pretty late. Do you want to do some news?
I mean, we can hold it off for next week.
Okay. Yeah. We can hold it off. Well, then I guess we'll end it there. We did talk at length, so still good 2 hours. This is a good conversation too. Happy with it. So yeah, it was fun, enjoyable. We stream this podcast. We do it live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. What's that? 6 p.m. Central.
Yep.
5 p.m. is Eastern, right? No, I'm going the wrong way. Am I going the wrong way? I think I am. Either which way, you do the conversion. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but thank you everybody for joining us. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. Love you. Bye.
Bye.